Silence your cell phones now.
I've never seen a being this strong. Maybe one. He's back.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be children, Mr. A&D. Back to give you guys the movie experience of a long-awaited thing that I never thought that was going to happen, ever. I never thought I would see this in movie cinema history in my lifetime. We're at a point where a movie that has released and then there has been such an uproar from the fans and petitions to be signed. I signed one of the petitions to release a cut of a movie that's already been out for since 4 years ago. 2017 is when Justice League came out, and now we are here to review, to go over the epic Justice League, the Snyder cut. So look, we are waiting. There's no point in going the synopsis of what Justice League is about. It's the same movie from 2017, but this time with an extra 2 hours in it, making this runtime with the credits come complete to 4 hours and 2 minutes long. My God, this was an experience, first off. And for some of you who might not know what's going on here, it goes like this, because back when Warner Brothers, Zack Snyder was the one that was doing the Justice League movie. And Warner Brothers got a little scared. But Zack Snyder's daughter tragically passed away. So what happened was Snyder left the project. Warner Brothers brought in Joss Whedon. Snyder made a 4-hour film, and then Joss Whedon took it, chopped it up, made a 2-hour film. That's what Warner Brothers did. And Warner Brothers said was running a lot of scare because of what happened with the reaction, the backlash from BVS. Now, once again, I'm one of the fans that had no problem with BVS. I mean, the original cut, there were issues with it, but then the amount of people that hated it, I was not one of the people that when the director's cut came out, I enjoyed it even more. So I'm on that small camp of people that actually like BVS. I do understand some of the reasons why people are so upset. So then when Justice League came out, it was like, oh God, we got Joss Whedon doing it, who did both the first 2 Avengers movies. And in my personal opinion, the second one is not. I'm not a fan of the second one too much like that. And he's gonna come do Justice League, so he's gonna come save it. And honestly, I did say in my review, you guys can watch my remastered review of it, that I enjoyed the movie for what it was. And at that time, I did, because we got a Justice League movie. We had all these. By the time Justice League came out, we was already on the cusp of a 3rd Avengers movie. I'm like, we didn't even get 1 Justice League movie, and we're about to be on 3 Avengers movies. So yes, I'm happy for it. It got done. The whole Alex Ross thing was cool, color palette, but then once again, it's still, I wasn't ready for what I was about to experience. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to do the good. We're going to do the bad, and we're going to do what the experience felt like to me. And yes, there will be mild spoilers during the experience part, but we're going to get into huge spoiler and theory discussions of what's to come in the future, hopefully, after on the podcast this weekend. So starting off with the good. All right, we start off with the good. So I got a lot of things to say. That's why I got my Gatorade, take my little swig. All right, so when it comes to the good, first of all, every character in here feels more fleshed out. The timing, it is long, but I'll get to that in a minute. When it comes to the different characters, and I'm telling you right now, Cyborg and the Flash get a better, even Aquaman get a better rendition in this movie than they in the original Justice League movie. More so Cyborg and Flash. So I'll start off with Cyborg. Cyborg right here, they cut this man's whole origin story out, and I'm to the point like, man, you know, they cut the whole origin story out, but I understand it's like Zack Snyder to the point where everybody wanted the Marvel formula. Everybody wanted all the heroes that's going to be part of Justice League to get their own movies, and then they culminate in this one big movie. Whereas Zack Snyder did the reverse way, where it was like the main Justice League members, the Trinity, got their movies. Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. You already know enough about Batman, right? Came in with the Superman movie, and everybody else will. You got to sell them first, then so they can get their own movie. Well, Justice League didn't do a good job of selling them, but this movie sold Cyborg for me, and maybe get on his team, because right now I know what the man is going. Well, I don't know what he's going to do, but I feel where he's coming from. and it shows him how he's trying to develop how to use these powers and how to try to live with it, what his father has done, and the relationship and the tension between him and his father. We didn't get any of that in the original theatrical cut, to the point, or as they call it, the Justice League. We didn't get any of that because they cut. Like I was like, I can understand why people were upset, or why Ray Fisher was upset, because they just cut this old man storyline out. I'm like, whoa, man, y'all can't be doing all that. Then we go over to Barry Allen as the Flash. Now, I'm actually kind of mad at Josh Whedon for this one, because Barry Allen in 2017, he was just made to be the comic relief. He was the goof, and he was just doing all this kind of stuff just to be comic relief. And I'm like, wait a minute. All right, I get it though, but you are the Flash. In this movie, he still has comic relief. In this movie, he still has jokes, but he's important to. He's really important to the way this movie turns out. I'm not giving away no kind of spoilers. I'm not giving away no big spoilers until that spoiler review. But he is very important, and they show a good way of him how to use his power. He's not necessarily like, duh, or what should I do? Kind of like in the first one, Batman was just like, he's like, what should I do? You know, big, obnoxiously tall guys, to the point where he's like, look, just save one, you know what to do. No, the Flash knows exactly what to do in this one. Necessarily, it's just that everybody just moves a little bit too slow for him. And there's some lines that have been taken out, and there are some lines that was either added in, but they still got the dialogue between him and the Flash. Steppenwolf, gotta go on to Steppenwolf, because in the first movie, Steppenwolf, I tried to make it seem like Steppenwolf was cool, but he isn't. Steppenwolf is not really cool. I really don't care nothing about Steppenwolf, not even in the comics. But they made him like, it kind of almost reminded me of like a mixture of what the Sentinels in Days of Future Past meets Shredder from Ninja Turtles 2014, and like, bam, that's what we get Steppenwolf here. But it looks a lot better than what we got in 2017. If you put the comparisons side by side, you just see that the comparisons just, it looks so much better, and he has a motive. Now, when it comes to DC, we got these big, villains. Like, everybody's not going to be a Thanos, and I know everybody's going to talk about Thanos and Darkseid kind of thing, which I don't think is going to be a fair comparison. In my personal opinion, but we're going just off of Steppenwolf, who's the main bad in this movie. It's hard to just go off and see, he's just a big bad, but he has a motive, and what he's trying to do is trying to get back into the new gods. And it's like, okay, I can understand that. I mean, I don't need him to be like Thanos and have the more drawn out plot to the point like, I can sympathize with him. I'm just like, this man got to pay a debt, and I'm like, I don't even know how you'll get that debt paid, bro. That's just felt for enough. Okay, we all had debts that we got to pay. I mean, like, my God, Darkseid was on him like student loans. Aquaman, Jason Momoa gets more screen time, and I really like Aquaman's introduction in this movie. They took the Aquaman introduction kind of away a little bit, unless I rewatched the Justice League movie just to come in and watch this one to see, compare the differences. And the Aquaman introduction in this one, I think I enjoyed a little bit better. They did take some things out from the 2017 version, but overall, I really enjoy it. It's his side characters from Mira and William Dafoe are in this movie, and they get time to shine, a little bit of time to shine also. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that everybody's bringing their side characters, because at this time, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman did not have movies of their own, and they were trying to build them up for movies for the future. Now we got the Aquaman movie in the future. I don't know what's going to happen with Cyborg, and we didn't get the Flash movie. The Flash movie is coming out, so I'm curious to see how the DCU, especially after this movie, I'm most curious to see what is going to happen with the DCEU. Wonder Woman. You know what? I said in my Wonder Woman 84 movie review, it was disappointing, but there was something about it I like. I was like, I just like it. I don't know why. I just liked it, and I can't take that back. I just liked it. But it was disappointing, and all the hate and criticism that it gets, it's rightfully deserved. So I did not know how much I missed this version of Wonder Woman until I seen Justice League. When she came on the scene, her introduction, which is the same as the Justice League version for 2017, but the scene is longer, it adds more to it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, and hearing that, some people don't like that Wonder Woman song. I like that battle song. I really like that Wonder Woman battle song, to the point where I was just like, man, y'all need to get out of the way. And she don't back down for nothing. Like, they brought the warrior version back. Like, we wasn't doing this whole Kitty and you know, being wonderful in 80s type thing. Like I said, I think Wonder Woman missed the mark. They tried to do, Patty Jenkins tried to do something that was so different to the point I think it just missed the mark a lot of the time. But just seeing Wonder Woman back here, you know, the way she was, I enjoyed it. Now, before everybody goes out there and says, hey, Zack Snyder needs to do Wonder Woman 3, no, he doesn't need to do Wonder Woman 3. Keep it to Patty Jenkins. She missed the ball with the second one. She can bounce back on third, because remember who did the first one. That's why we really fell in love with Wonder Woman in the first place. I'm just saying I don't need Zack Snyder doing the Wonder Woman 3. I think this is his run right here. Batman. So Batman here feels like not much is changed with Batman. I mean, he's Batman. I like Batfleck. He sold me onto him. At first, I was not on board with the Batfleck type thing, but I'm getting more on board of it now. Like I said, I don't know what's held in the future. I don't know if we'll get that Ben Affleck solo Batman movie, or the case may be. But since, you know, Crisis happened, we have all these different multiverses type of things like that. It was just cool. You know, he was doing simple things. Superman, you know, to round out of all the characters here is, if you're a Superman fan, he's not in it that much. He's in it towards the end, and still the best scene is that, you know, him fighting the Justice League at the memorial. Best thing. I love that scene. I always love that scene. And it's even longer than last time. And I enjoy every bit of it. You know, say Superman's a badass in this movie. He truly is. And there's some scenarios here I'm just like, woo. Also, we get some side characters here. We get Dr. Toy, who becomes the Atom, who works at Star Labs. We get more of Victor Stone, of Joe Morton in this movie. Then we get a couple cameos from a couple other people that I will get to more so in my spoiler. I mean, some that you saw in jail, like, you know, the trailer with Jared Leto's Joker and things like that. Which, by the way, when it comes to the Joker thing, to me, it's just like, okay, I gotta see a full movie before y'all grade how he doing the movie. I mean, for what it was cool, but I need to see in a full movie, in a full scope, to actually get all of what they're trying to give to me. And in this movie, where they show Darkseid, that whole battle between Darkseid and his you know, parademons going against the Atlanteans and the you know, the Amazons and Man and Zeus and all them, and they cut that whole battle out with the Green Lantern and all that stuff like that. Man, that battle was awesome. I enjoyed that, and it just go watch it. That's what I'm saying. But Darkseid, at first, I was scared of how he looked in the trailers, but when I see him, I was like, whoa, that's an intimidating looking guy. And just having him there with the new guys, like with Desaad and Granny Goodness, I'm like, oh man, I've enjoyed all this kind of stuff again. I was like, I never thought I would see those characters live action on the big screen. I never thought I would see that, and just seeing that, I thought Darkseid was gonna look bad by the trailers, but looking in here, I was like, oh yeah, I like him. I like him in there. They polished up the CGI. Yes, we still have the Zack Snyder grayscale. You know, everything look a little bit more darker, but there are some things that work for it, and some things, you know, I didn't find it as bad. There is you know, it was the 4.3 aspect screen that got shrivels in like this because it was built to be on IMAX, but we give the actual vision. And by the way, for me, I didn't, you know, after the first minute or so, it didn't bother me at all. In the beginning, is different. There's the whole rooftop scene from the 2017 one. They take that out, and I think it has a better opening because it explains and gives a good narrative of what triggers these mother boxes. Okay, and I enjoy all that good stuff. Now I can keep on rambling on about things I like and stuff like that, but we got to get into some of the bad. So let's get into the bad. With the bad, this movie's not perfect by no means. This is Zack Snyder. Would I like to see this version with the Joss Whedon polish of the color? Sure. But it's Zack Snyder's world, and I understand that it's going to be a black and white version that's going to come out also. So that didn't bother me too much. This is what bothered me about this movie. I know Zack Snyder loves to illustrate his visual art. He overdoes it. And I'll repeat, he overdoes it with the slow motion. There are some scenes I can't take because of the slow motion. There are some scenes that should be taken out because of slow motion. Even a sesame seed off a burger bun is a slow motion. And honestly, I will talk about, y'all seen in the trailer, that whole Barry Allen saves Irish from the car accident scene. I'm sorry to inform y'all, don't need to be in this movie. That is a good deleted scene that you can get with the Blu-ray release. I want a Blu-ray release of this. I understand it's on HBO Max, but I want the behind the scenes. I want the story. I want the movement. I want all that in a big ass box set of that kind of thing like that. And this would be a great deleted scene. This did nothing for the plot. Nothing for it at all. It was just this was like Zack Snyder's first time handling the Flash, and we see what the Flash can do with TV shows, and we see what he can do in cartoons. But it's like he's live action, first time in a movie. This was Zack Snyder showing off what a speedster can do live action, even though we already seen Quicksilver on Age of Ultron and Days of Future Past, which I think they both did them better, but still. And I was like, this is not needed. It really is not needed at all. I feel that he overdid it on the slow motion. People are not gonna like the runtime. I mean, 4 hours is a lot, and there is things that honestly could have been cut out. There are things that could have been trimmed down, like, and it could have been a 3.5 hour movie. It could have been, but for 4 hours, and there are some things I was like, they added for the sake of adding. I'm like, some things could have been trimmed down. I wouldn't have been mad. It wouldn't have hurt the story. Is it cool to see it? And like I said, I don't know if they just want to put it all in because Zack's like, I don't even know if I'll be able to make this movie again, or the case may be. But 4 hours, but I sat through it. It was pretty easy to get to, but when you have kids and when you're married, you got 2 jobs, stuff like that. I was sitting there on my phone, then I was sitting there on the PS5, then I was sitting there on the PS4, then I was sitting there on the laptop. I was sitting there everywhere trying to get parts of this movie. Like, they watch part 1 and part 2, they watch part 3, they watch 4 and 5. There's 6 parts in an epilogue, and that epilogue is like 25 minutes long. I'm like, it didn't need to be 25 minutes long, but it is. But yeah, so that's when it comes to the bed, those are really the glaring things. There are some CGI things that you notice, but to the point where it's not that bad to me personally. But that slow motion, a little bit of that grayscale, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff is just like, ugh. It really sometimes takes you out of it. But now let's go on into the experience. Mild spoilers. I'm going to give mild spoilers in this section. So if you guys don't want to see no spoilers, I mean, it's just the additional scene because it's all about the same movie. It goes really the same way. But if you guys don't want any kind of spoilers, wait for my spoiler review. Then this is where you click away and you can come back. So the experience was, like I said, if you don't have a lot of responsibilities, like if you got one job and you live by yourself and everything like that, you can sit there and you're really into it, get some popcorn, rest stuff, and watch this thing in one sitting. If you got responsibility, which everybody has a certain amount of responsibility, I'm not saying mine is more than yours, but if you got a lot of responsibilities, and for me, I have a ton of responsibilities, so it's hard for me just to sit down and watch it do one sitting. And once again, I did something stupid. It came out at 3. I'm on the East Coast, so it came out at 3 a.m. Because the specific time is at midnight. I tried to watch it. I was up 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I want to see. Woke up late. I was like, I gotta get back on this joint and finish it. And then I was like, but I gotta do this. I gotta take care of this. So it took me to like 4:30 the next day to finish this joint and watch the bits and pieces. So I plan on going back to watch the full thing going through. Some of the mild spoilers is like, okay, the whole nightmare scene that we see. We get like Martian Manhunter in the movie, which I forgot the guy who played for 5 Heartbeats, but he was up. He's in there. And he plays Martian Manhunter. I thought it was pretty good to add him in there. We also have a thing with the thing with the Joker. There is so many things that's going to end. It's going to leave on a cliffhanger. You want to make a second one. And like I said, the Joker was fine for his speech that he gave. I know Jared Leto was fine, but I still need to see a full movie of it. To base off of the whole scene with the Flash. Is that when I said the sesame seed even in slow motion, this trucker is eating this sandwich, it drops on the floor. One thing, when people take their eyes off the road, especially for somebody who drives, it bothers me of how much unrealistic these scenes be. How he is really down there looking the whole time to get back to his sandwich. As the car, it's a truck now, it's still going. I was like, you're not going to look up at all? You're not going to do any of that? It didn't make no sense to me. And it had so much when he's about to crash in with Iris that the whole sesame seed goes down, and then Barry becomes a straight creep in this thing. Like, he's taking her and he's caressing her and he's folding his position and he lays her down. I'm like, This scene is 10 minutes too long. It don't need to be all this. I didn't see anyone show off your slow motion. I think really in the beginning, the slow motion was just like, oh my gosh, you're killing it for me. But then it started, getting better. That's my thought on the Snyder cut. I'm glad it came out. I think it was going to. It's way better than the original theatrical cut. And honestly, when it comes to my grade for Zack Snyder, the Snyder cut of Justice League, I'm giving it a damn near perfect. Can't give it a Nerdgasm just yet, but I am giving it a damn near perfect. It goes up high on one of my DCEU movies, and I want to see where this Justice League is going to go. Because I like him. I like the characters. I want to see when Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter are going to be added to the team. Okay, because I know Cyborg is, sometimes going to be in it, sometimes not, stuff like that. But I want to see how it's necessarily going to be. So post any comments down below. Did you guys see the Snyder cut of Justice League yet? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review. And make sure you check out my 2017 review on the remasters. Hit the subscribe button for movie experiences every single weekend right here on NC Studios. Once again, it's NC, a place to be. Children, Mr. A&D, and I'll see you at the movies.